free spirit talks. We're late, like always.
Yeah, we're late, and I'm still working on my hair because I can't get my hair to work.
You and your hair today are struggling.
My hair the last couple days. Maybe I just need.
But I always get comments because I'm always like doing this. I'm always like moving my hair around. It's a nervous habit. I really
have a nervous twitch.
I
do.
do.
You have a thing where you.
I have a thing with my hair. I do. I'm like, it must be like, it doesn't have to be. It can't be like Texas big because then I'm like, but it can't be.
Mine's all fluffed. I'm like,
but like, it can't be like flat either. Like, and I need to go get my hair done. So.
This is what live streaming does, though. I've watched, I've watched Kat and I watched Man and everybody goes and they go.
It's like, let me fix my hair.
It's like, hold on,
This
is gonna take a little bit. Let me fix my hair first. Like, we'll start in 5 minutes. Let me put my makeup on.
Yeah. Yes, it makes you prim.
It does. I feel so vain doing live streams. It's that vain moment of just like, okay. And then you find yourself like looking that direction and then realizing that the camera's this direction. So you're going, okay. And then you're trying to get their best angle. So it's like, here's my best angle. That's probably what Facebook is going to take that right there. And
yeah,
it's going to show the same shoes. I'm like, okay. Like,
they'll be like, this is Kendall.
Yeah, and that's women.
We're allowed to have our moments of vanity. We're not vain all the time. It's just like moments of vanity. I mean,
we were just having a conversation about shoes and earrings and purses, and you guys were giving me hell for.
I think it wasn't giving you hell. There's just certain things I wouldn't.
That.
There are certain things I wouldn't spend.
I have a shoe thing.
I have an earring thing actually. I get the expensive earrings.
Thank you.
I get the expensive earrings. I think maybe I can get the shoe thing, but I just right now don't go and spend tons of money on shoes. I like shoes. I really don't get the purse thing. The purse thing I don't get. I don't get the purse thing because
if you saw this purse,
I'm sure it was a beautiful purse.
You're gonna see this purse because I'm gonna order this purse. It is my Christmas present to myself.
I think there's
an amazing purse.
But here's the thing: if you saw that purse, you didn't go, "Oh, that's a purse." You went, "I like that purse."
I was like, "Oh my god, that's a beautiful purse."
And it just happened to be an expensive purse. I think that is different versus like, I need to have a this name brand purse because it just has the name brand, and I think that is what a lot of people go and do, and I'm not for that. Now, I've seen purses and things and be like, that's just really pretty, and I need that, and I look at the tag, and then that's that. But
this is a beautiful purse. Oh god,
so,
there was a couple beautiful purses.
This is real life with Addison and Kendall.
Purses are a thing. Shoes are really a thing for me.
Women get really tied into pretty things.
I have to have. It's not. You know what? Like these shoes.
Like
these shoes. They are a couple years old, and I love them, and they are like my everyday
nice shoes.
And everybody knows that I have a thing for Italian shoes.
Your toe. Sorry.
Yeah, I chipped my toenail. I didn't make it out of the place. Not 5 minutes before that happened. I was gonna forget it. I'm not going back. But no, Italian shoes. You know me and my Italian shoes. I do. It's because they're comfortable. It's not that they're from. They just make good shoes. When I go to Italy, I have to take a suitcase.
They look comfortable.
Just to bring back.
They look comfortable.
A suitcase full of shoes, and everybody's gonna be like, and now you have to install.
You have that soul connection with your shoes.
Yes, shoes.
Just like you can have your soul connection with men.
I do have a
pretty men. Not pretty, but energetically pretty men.
Yes. Or pretty other thing then. But I like a little bit of bad boy. I do. The bad boy, has to be because there's
you have to have just enough bad boy.
Here's the thing, and our topic today is men, women, and that soul connection. That soul. What did I call it? That
soul moment.
Soul moment. And I don't know. When I look back, there's lots of different moments that I definitely had these soul moments, as I would say, with different gentlemen of my past and even of my present. And it's just there is this moment where almost like time just to me slows down. It's kind of like when you find that beautiful purse or that picture and time just slows down and you go, I have to have that. All right, I'm having a vain day. It's a vain day. It's a vain day. No, but it is. It's this moment where it's seriously, all those moments for me that I look back on, it was this moment where time kind of just stopped, and I felt such a spiritual presence in that moment where my soul was just going, no, I have to meet this person, or you're definitely in the right spot at the right time with the right person. This is supposed to, like, this is a soul meeting that has to happen for the future to basically just, you know, open up the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really a valuable piece in relationship with both of us working in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's one of those pieces that I think that a lot of the time people try to force things to happen.
It won't happen.
And you can do all the forcing all dang long, and it's not going to work for you if there's not this connection. Or the connection comes, and the desire and the mystery, all of that kind of stuff kind of comes up with these soul moments.
Yeah, and I think I know for myself, some of these soul moments are moments when it's like I find myself acting not totally out of character, but from just a different place of my character. So like if the way I may have interacted with other men, well, in that moment it's like, no, this, like, I feel this like tug of like, no, I must go here. So like I am not a like, let's go to bed the first, you know, date night type situation. That's just not me. I want to really feel somebody before we get into feeling each other on different levels. But like there is this one moment I remember being like, it was this energy, and it was a soul connection. It was not a, yes, we were both turned on, yes, we were both like hot and heated, but it was this moment of like, no, I feel like magnetized to this man. And it was an important kind of encounter in that moment. And I've felt similar situations in the bedroom, at the bedroom, just meeting somebody. Mm-hmm. We're talking about men and women, but we see this also in just our relationships in general in our life, of like, no, I must meet this person, I must interact. You know, there is this like push. But those soul moments, really, we can back away from them, or we can really like lean into them. And when we lean into them, life shit changes.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I always talk about that one at the moment that I was actually, right before we started talking, I was like, I can talk about this, I can talk about that. You know, like running through briefly, because we're not planning these out these days. Yeah. But nope. There was a moment, what was that, like 4 years ago now, mm-hmm. And I ended up at a community, it was 4.5 years ago, I ended up at a community event that I had been invited to, and I knew basically everybody there, except for just a couple people, and at the end of the table was this tall, dark and handsome chocolate man that I did not know who he was, but I came in, and I was in an open relationship at the time with my partner, and we sat down across from people that we knew, and this man across the way, he just was really just like, I was so captivated by him, and we got just a handshake in the whole, over a course of like 3 hours, all we really got was a handshake and a first name introduction, of which I did not remember his first name after that moment. It was bad. But I remember telling my partner, I was like, don't let me leave here without getting that man's number. And of course, he escaped the situation without us exchanging phone numbers. And I was so, I felt in that moment, I mean, this is how it was more than him being a good looking man or mm-hmm. me being sexually attracted to him, which I was, but it was more than that. It was like, it was a pull. There was a definite pull to him, and I didn't understand why. But I knew in that moment that I really had to like somehow meet with this person, that there was a significant something that needed to come from this.
You knew there was a lesson there.
There was something there that needed to be, you know, like soul level moved through. And he left the building. I went to the restroom. He left. I come out. He's gone. I'm like, ugh. And I was so frustrated because I had not gotten this exchange. And then I'm like, who was that? Who was that mystery man? And they're like,
Who was that man?
who was that man? And a couple months go by, and I'm sitting in my office, and at that time I was sharing my space in the evening sometime with a fellow coach practitioner, and she was coming in to do a community event. So she comes in, and then people start coming in with her, and I'm like packing up my computer and saying hello, hello, giving love to everybody as they're walking in the door, and I'm out the door. When, lo and behold, the door opens, and the mystery man walks through my office door, and I was like, yeah. Like, woo! God is good. God is good. This is definitely something, because I have I instantaneously knew who he was. Well, I didn't know who he was, but I knew who he was. And I was just like, and he just walked up to me, and he just had this like confident, strong, smiley smirk on his face. I just leaned in, and he says, "Hey, Kendall, I've been wanting to meet you." And I was just like,
and it was
wow.
the energy. Yes, you
Wow.
were sexually attracted
Oh
to
yeah,
him.
I was like, woo!
Yes, you were sexually attracted, but it was also an energy,
It was.
because somebody
Right.
can be incredibly sexually attracted, but
there
there's
was a
no
call.
energy.
There was a call there. He sat down, and I was just like, okay, I really legitimately had to go. I had some place to be, but I looked at him, I was like, here's my number. Like, here's my number. And while I'm finishing packing up, he's texting me about wine. Like, what kind of wine do you like and everything. And we ended up having a relationship after that point, which was definitely, and probably I think still is, a work in progress on growth and learning experiences 4 years later between the two of us, because we still communicate. And it's just one of those moments that, I look back at the different things that him and I experienced together in multiple different layers of relationship. And I was alerted to it right there at that table, at that community event, that this was definitely needed to happen. So I was very open when he came through the door to go, no, here's the connection. I need to, there's something here. I need to have this happen. I've had that happen with people, across the bar before. I've had it happen just walking into large workshops that I really don't, I know nobody. I'm there as a student. Nobody knows who I am.
Sometimes we energetically fight over them.
And there's somebody across the way, and there's just we've taught workshops together.
And been like, that
and
one.
I've gone like,
and I'm like, no, it's mine.
We're like connecting to different people. And it definitely is. The masculine feminine is very interesting, because there are these pulls where you don't even really know somebody, and it's not a looks thing. That's not what we're talking about here. It is it is an energetic pull where you just are getting captivated by somebody else's energy for no real true reason.
And I, like I said a minute ago, I find myself not acting out of character, still being authentically me, but maybe, especially with men, because we're talking about men here, getting into this almost super feminine, ditzy, blonde, kind of giddy, laughy, but also when you said you lose time, it really is. It's everything stands still, and you're so engrossed in that other person and hearing what they have to say, and they, the same thing that you're sharing. It's a moment. It's these connections, and sometimes that happens in the bedroom. I've had these moments in the bedroom where it's that's all great, but this is actually what.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What the lesson? And I think back to one particular, and I remember being I don't understand why I'm in this, why I have this connection going, why I have this connection. I know there's something there. And then it came to the bedroom, and then I was this is a learning right here. This is where I need to learn and grow with this person. This is my learning. It's not all of this outside. It's not the relationship. He is opening me up right now to everybody else that I'm going to experience. And this was years and years ago. And I was this is the soul pull. This is the moment. This is why I'm having this connection. So,
yeah, that happens so much. It is those moments feel, we were talking also about leaps. I know I was talking about leaps earlier on Conscious Coffee, but I think that we do that a lot, leaning in relationship with a potential love partner, romantic, sexual, whatever that might pertain to, in that intimacy, there is a great leap of faith, and just like, because you're leaning into this space of surrender, of vulnerability, that you have to be open to, you know. And it's funny, I have a lot of couples coming around, and lots of couples that I'm working with right now are moving from monogamous relationships into polyamorous relationships, or some version of an open-based relationship. At least they're wanting to experiment with it. And they, you know, the running theme is, well, let's just make it happen, you know, like let's just make it happen. And they have these ideas of it's going to be like this, but they don't understand all the vulnerability and the surrender and the communication and the different things that need to be dealt with to set up a healthy foundation to have the best possible results come from it.
Because it can be an amazing experience.
It can be an amazing experience. I mean, I've been in monogamous relationships. I've been in monogamish relationships. I've been in very open, you know, poly swinging-based relationship sets and everything. And all of them can be beautiful and positive, and all of them can be a nightmare. It's like, there is no such thing as, you know, like one true relationship format. It really is, you got to design the relationship that's right for you, for that relationship, and for that time frame in your world, because timelines change and emotions and everything changes, right? It all changes, so go with the flow with where you're at. But the thing is that it all comes down to that leap of faith. And what the leap of faith really, what I base leap of faith on, is connection. It is those soul moments. Like, if you get drawn in, you know, it's like, do you resist your soul calling to go towards something, that pull, or do you go, no, I'm going, I'm going, you know? And it's like, when you breathe into that space, beauty happens. But if you try to force that space to happen, which is like a lot of my couples are watching this. If you're watching this, hey, you know, like that forcing is not where
we try to create soul moments when there's no soul energy in there.
No,
we try to go we try to list all the reasons why that person should be the right one. All that we get really into the list, and there's just, it's not there. I've got a couple male clients right now. They're like, no, but like, no, I'm not like a F yes. I'm not, but like, she's nice, and they're listing off these women's positive characteristics. And I'm like, yeah, right. I'm like, that's awesome that you can see all that, but if you're a man, then at the beginning of a relationship, you're not. It's not going to turn into this amazing, like,
more than likely
soul moment.
You can fall in love with somebody but never be an F yes to them.
Yes.
Which is a very interesting thing to do, but you can really do that. Like, you really can love somebody deeply and care for them, and, you know, go, this could be my life partner in all those ways, but I am just not. It works. But then find yourself settling in all these areas of the relationship for something that is, you know, mediocre.
Yeah.
Let's say is mediocre in that.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of couples that I end up, because I work a lot with couples, and a lot of the times what I see is these relationships, like you said, that they're kind of meh on the front side, and they're like, well, it'll grow. Well, it can grow a little bit.
Yes.
But and you can deeply fall in love, but that's like fascination and desire to the mystery and the passion and all that stuff. That stuff comes from the energy between two people. It's never going to be found in a mediocre feeling. You're just never ever going to have that there. You've got to be able to have those soul growth moments of connection and expansion and turn on and all these things.
Because then you're not going to be able to get through the harder moments when maybe one or both of you aren't in that passion, because it was never there to begin with. It's going to be hard to get to that place.
You know, I'm having dinner and drinks with a man that I have known for a decade tonight. And we came together a decade ago, as lovers having an affair. Each of us married having an affair. He would shoot me if he heard this right now.
Yes, he
Love
would.
you. But we came together, and it was one of those times when, you know, like, I contribute my growth to him. Like, he is by far, to me, like a catalyst in my life, because I was this timid, scared, freaked out wallflower person a decade ago, if anybody can believe that of me. That was me a decade. He'd be like, yeah, that was her. And I questioned, you know, like, why am I drawing in this dynamic man into my life right now? I still have no idea. It was just like, God, talk about soul moment. Like, God really wanted me to move. Yeah. And he blessed me with a man to get my ass moving.
He blessed you with a man.
He blessed me with a man to get my ass moving.
He does that a lot for you.
And he does. Like, my grow through men. Through relationship, I grow. But no, so he came into my life, and he was like this major catalyst, because I was so shut down, and I didn't understand. I couldn't enjoy life. Like, life was dull and below mediocre for me in so many different ways. And then I desperately wanted to open up. I desperately wanted to experience and to heal. And here he comes along, and I remember the first time we were together, we had this beautiful intimacy moment together when we were sexually together, where a butterfly flew out of a bag, and I was like, because I was terrified. I was totally terrified, because I was doing all these really bad things. In my head, I was like, I was really going through, like, I was damning myself, you know, for all this stuff. But he had brought a couple bottles of wine. I was getting the food. I opened up the bag. Now, the bag came out of my purse. It was one of those, like, fold-up bags that had been in my purse for probably 3 months, you know. So I'm at Whole Foods, and I'm buying cheeses and meats and that kind of stuff, and put all of that in the bag in the grocery store. So then I go from the grocery store to my car, put it in my car, drive from the car to the hotel, go into the hotel, feel horrible, the entire, like, elevator music, and I'm just like, you know, like, I am like, oh my God, I'm going to hell for this right now. Like, this is bad. And I remember walking in just shaking like a leaf, terrified. And he just looked at me with his big brown eyes and just gave me this smile, and like gave me a hug and a kiss, and he could tell my terror. So it's like, he's like, let's have a glass of wine. What kind of food did you get? And I open up the bag on the bed and start pulling food out when a beautiful monarch butterfly flies out of the bag. And I've always been that spiritual-based person, and I was like, oh my gosh, because butterflies are all about you are exactly where you're supposed to be. This is perfect moment. It's transformation, everything. This butterfly flies out of the bag into the room. He starts chasing the butterfly around the room, because he's like, we have to, like, the butterfly's going to die in here. So he goes on a mission to save the butterfly. So he goes on a mission to save the butterfly. We catch the butterfly. We catch the butterfly in a cup, and he can't find anywhere to take it. He has to take it all the way outside, so he's like got to go all the way down. He's carrying a butterfly through the hotel to save the butterfly. Comes back, and I was just like, that butterfly put me at total ease, and you know, I was just like, this man is supposed to be in my life. This moment's supposed to be happening. It's all good. And that was probably over a decade now, like 11 years ago or some 10, 11 years. And you know, that soul connection right there, we've had numerous moments through the years, and our relationship has gone from, you know, like having an affair together to being really great friends, to living in different states and having completely different lives, to coming back together and having sexual relationship, having a friendship-based relationship, having, you know, like all this kind of stuff. But a decade later, here it is, still standing strong, great friends, all this different, you know, stuff. And I look at that, but there's always this, like, mystery between us. And it's this soul connection, mystery, passion, turn on, and no matter what, it's like, it's always just good. It's just always good. I swear he's going to probably be my longest lasting relationship at the end of time. It'll be like, we're going to sit, and I have this thing, I'm like, there's going to probably be 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. All right, my list is growing. They'll be me in a little rocking chair with like 12 men on my little deck. Great grandbabies playing out there. We're drinking, you know, spiked lemonade, talking about the good old days when we were being naughty. Soul moments. Yeah, soul moments. People, though, try to force those moments right there.
And yeah, and you can't force it. I actually wrote an article about a soul moment I had. I remember there's this gentleman that I still absolutely adore. I don't see him very much, but I absolutely adore him because I see him And I remember this one situation, walking in, and I had a horrible day. I had like just a really bad day. And I was like, no, I'm gonna go see him. Like, I promise. I don't get to see him very often. And this is a couple years back. I remember walking in and just like going, like seeing his face. And yes, he is a gorgeous specimen of a man.
I know who she's talking about.
But it was actually.
And if you're watching, she's talking about you.
It was actually his smile. I like walked in, and his energy and his smile, it was just like, I'm safe. I can be like, I can just be in this moment. I can drop. And that is actually what women, and I'm sure we're going to get some comment, I don't want to surrender, I don't want to drop, from women, but that's actually what the feminine wants. We need to be able to go.
You have to be able to get out of here and embody yourself.
And it takes a soul connection.
Yeah, it does. You have to be able to, like, I have had my fair share of people come through my life intimately, and the ones that are actually still in my life are the ones that I have consistently had a good, deep soul connection with, that I could just like surrender to. And that surrender was not like a surrendering of like, I'm giving all my power over.
No.
Not that. But it was just a dropping down where I wasn't thinking about all this other stuff out here, and I could just be very present in the moment. And that's what surrender is about being present in the moment. Yeah. And he made that for you.
He did, and then he, like, I like, still, if I was to see him, I'm sure I would just, like, burst into a huge ass smile, because that's what he does for me. He, like, lightens my mood. And yeah, I've had lots of these situations. I mean, I date a lot. And I mean, there's guys, and I can go through, and I'm like, he's got everything, and I'm like, there's nothing. I feel bored. I am awful. I get bored, like, incredibly quickly. It's the truth, though. Like,
Virgo thing.
I'm like, and you're boring me.
I get bored too.
I'm like, and you're boring me. And yeah. Yeah, I need. But what keeps it not boring is actually that soul. It's not anything they do. It's that connection.
There's a connection. There's a trust. There's a safety. There's a being able to drop down and
open up in the bedroom. Open up in your vulnerability, in your emotions.
You're never going to be able to open up to somebody who is, just, well, I'm like, sorry. I need food. Last night, Steve and I were talking, and Samantha was over, my oldest daughter, and the guy that I'm in a relationship with. We were all having this conversation, and he says, "What's the most important characteristic that you for a man to have?" And both my daughter and I, confidence. That's what. Yeah, confidence is the most important thing, and it's true. Like, cockiness is not it. Confidence is it. And we were actually talking about one particular person, and he was like, "Well, does this guy have confidence?" And my daughter goes, "No, he's just cocky. Like, he might have all of this, right? Like, he's got the money, he's got the looks, he's got this, he's got that, blah, 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 but he has zero confidence. So he's sporting his paycheck, he's sporting his car, his house, the trips he goes on, his, his body, his physical presence, but all of it is just a masking of the fact that he has zero to little confidence there. And it's like, when you can meet somebody, and no matter, they can literally be like all scarred up and not have the best body and not be the right height to meet your your list, or not have the most income, or whatever you're looking for.
And it won't matter.
But confidence is one of those things that it's just like, if it is coming from your core, and confidence is about loving yourself and being comfortable in your own skin, and just like, I'm just good with being me, no matter all this other stuff. Yeah. And that right there is so appealing. And I know that a lot of men, especially, we've both been on lots of dates together. We have been on many, many dates. Like, our list of dates. Like,
yes.
we could definitely talk about some dates. But the key factor I know I hear about, because you're the one who's dating currently, actively dating multiple men out there. She's having fun. And I live vicariously through her.
I'm single. Why not have some fun with it?
That's right. But no, the thing that I catch from you is that a lot of the times it is a confidence factor.
It is a total confidence factor.
There's lack of goals. They have lack of ambition and lack of confidence.
Yeah, it's total lack of confidence.
Things. Or they're just completely not centered in who they are. So just zero
connection
purpose,
to self.
yeah.
And it all comes. Confidence is a connection to self. So.
Yeah.
So yeah. So. Yeah.
And when I talk about like those, you know, the man with the butterfly, or the man that I just had to have his number, right? Those two relationships blended with however many others out there that I would say were moments like that. The thing that I think was most attractive about the man that I had to have his phone number was his confidence. And he is a very confident man. Yes. He just is. He's very strong in himself, and there's just this beauty behind it. You know, he's got his set of faults. I mean, I've learned them through the years, but I still love him to death for that confident, strong masculine that you can't fake. You cannot fake that.
Yep.
And just like my main man, who's going to be my longest relationship probably, you know, like he is a soft, confident person. Like he's very playful and soft, and but he's just so secure in himself. It's just a beautiful thing to be around, and just to be in connection with somebody like that on any level.
Yes. Yeah, so. I would agree with that. So, our earphone's going to go out.
I know.
So our video is going to stop in a minute. So let's wrap things up. I feel complete.
So confidence, yeah. You're confident that we're completed?
I'm confident we are completed. So we could go on and on about dating and soul moments, because I think we have soul moments all the time that we tend to miss and restrict and not open to or experience.
I think the gist of what both of us probably want to get through here is, you know, those soul moments. It's not about faking. Authentic relating is about being authentic, being in integrity with self, so that you can be better integrity with somebody else. Mm-hmm. And you can only be as open and honest with somebody else as you can be with yourself. So it all starts back at doing your internal work and working on doing those things that build that confidence, that build that self-love.
Getting out of your comfort zone.
Leaping, taking those risks, taking those steps. Looking for, like, not being afraid to go, all right, I was wrong there. Like, here's where my responsibility was. Standing up for, you know, those moments, self-forgiveness.
And getting present, too, because you're not going to recognize the soul moments if you're not present in your life.
Which brings us all to, you go with this.
We actually have an awesome workshop. Only Sexy Men Need Apply coming up. It is in person in Plano.
And it's got
oh my gosh. Yeah, they're nice men. They're yummy. They're yummy. They're yummy men. But it's not, sexy isn't about
you don't have to be Dwayne Johnson.
You don't.
You do not have to be Aquaman to be sexy. And who was the other person?
Liam Hemsworth.
Oh, that's right. You do not. You don't. But.
He's yummy.
But. Those things, and here.
They're confident. They're confident men.
Every one of those. I mean, like, I love, what's his face, who plays Aquaman. I've seen some of and Dwayne Johnson, too. Like, they are, I think that if you met them on the street, that they are just, like, they're funny. They're lighthearted. They're easygoing. They're compassionate. They, you know, like, they just have this energy about them. It's so much more than what their physical look is. Now, their physical look is awesome. I mean, most of us ladies think so.
But it's more than that.
But if they were assholes, excuse my French for free spirit talks here, but if they were, they would be nice eye candy. And that would be that with that.
But you want to be more than eye candy to a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to teach you how.
Yes. And that's what our workshop is about. It's because no matter what your physical looks are, if you're not confident, if you're not present, if you're not secure in yourself, if you're not, you know, if you can't be playful, and you know, but a strong playful, and I started the whole conversation with like, I like a little bit of bad boy. Well, what does that mean? What does a little bit of bad boy mean? I mean, she likes a little bit of bad boy too.
Yes, I do.
I think every woman out there wants a little bit of bad boy.
How do you drop your woman down? How do you be confident without being cocky? How do you actually like date online and get women interested in you?
Build connection. I can tell you what, it does not happen with a hi. What did I do wrong?
What should sex look like the first time? Like, how do you approach that? That's a tricky one in today's society. How do you approach that? How do you approach compliments? All of these things, we're going to cover all of them and more. And you get to gurus in sex and relationships and dating
on a few dates
to help you with that. And we will be actually taking a few moments to open it up to allow us to look at different profiles that you might want to bring to us. Lots of different opportunities at this workshop. So check that out. That is on both of our websites. You can find it on Facebook. And that is going to be held on September 21st in Plano, Texas. If you're not in Plano, I'm sorry, guys. We might do this online eventually.
It might be an online when we come out. We're going to play with it first in person.
Yes.
So get our local Dallas peeps, gentlemen, a little bit luckier out there.
So what do you have going on personally for KW coaching? Anything you?
Local people, I have the introduction to Tantric Tantra, yes, where I am giving an introductory course to the energetics of Tantra. She's going to be my model.
Yep.
And basically she's going to be having some very orgasmic experiences without touch.
Yep, doing your magic tricks. So, and then today I launched Zen and Crazy as Fuck. It is a 3-day online course that is going to be 3-day online course starting the 14th, and that is about being Zen and also using your crazy in this crazy busy world. So
it's a powerful workshop. I think that many people need that.
Yes.
Many people. So anything else?
Nope, that's it. We will see you in 2 weeks for another Free Spirit Talks. We don't know what we're talking about.
But that's normal. It's normal. We got this.
Yeah.
Got this. Okay, guys. Love you, and we will catch you in 2 weeks.
Bye.